belle kuli my atio. Oga buy me bottom belle kuli my atio. Bounce as ikiwe bounce ayo ayo bounce as ikiwe bounce ayo ayo bounce as ikiwe bounce ayo ayo bounce as ikiwe bounce ayo sick. You tell me say you like me, me so tell you my own you. When you reach to buy me fine things, well all that tighty. You say make you do me better. Try understand. See as a woman will like keep plenty. Oh yeah, show me say you feel shake your body. You be chama no be from mountain. Hey, hey, hey. Chama do something bamurege. You be chama no be from mountain. Hey, hey, hey. Chama do something bamurege. Oga buy me bottom belle kuli my auntie. 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 Bounce as ikiwe bounce ayo ayo bounce as ikiwe bounce ayo ayo bounce as ikiwe bounce ayo ayo oh bounce as ikiwe bounce ayo ayo oh yeah ayo ayo oh 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 ayo ayo oh yeah ayo ayo oh ooh oh 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 ayo the way you dey shake it up and down. The way you did dance your body, my auntie. You want that for naira or dollars? You want that for pounds or euro? Anything for you, my baby, cooling my auntie. Oh yeah, dance ya, baby. Where I got the Kennedy, dance ya. You the cooling my auntie. Oh God, buy me bottom belle, cooling my auntie. Oga buy me bottom belle kuli my auntie. Bounce as ikiwe bounce ayo ayo bounce as ikiwe bounce ayo ayo oh. You be chairman no be for mouth aye chairman do something bamureke. You be chairman no be for mouth aye chairman do something bamureke. You be chairman no be for mouth aye chairman do something bamureke. You be chairman no be for mouth
chairman do something no Thank God I'm not a musician. Let me just pour this beautiful song. Thank you so much, Rachel, Ezra, Casey. That was amazing. That took us way down memory lane. Thank you so much. Now, today, we reflect on the values we pass on. Those quiet lessons that continue to shape lives long after we are gone.
Indeed, that's all right. Values like compassion, perseverance, integrity. They are more than just words. They are gifts that we pass on to the next generation.
Absolutely, Thelma. And when we live them daily, they become more than just teachings. They become legacies that are written in the hearts of others.
I like that, our hearts indeed. So let's today explore how the choices we make today can ripple into tomorrow's stories. This is your effervescent breakfast television show, Weekend Deal, and we are live on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. My name is Thelma Obazim.
And how we teach them through our daily lifestyle continue to shape the society forever. I am Patience Eloy Abba, and this remains your favorite weekend show on TV. It is time for us to join.
If I tell you now, Would you keep on loving me? If I tell you how I feel, would you keep bringing out the best in me? You're giving me the sweetest taboo. Oh, yeah. You're giving me the sweetest taboo. Too good for me. There's a question, and it's never felt like this before. There's a question that is you, baby. There's a question, and it's never felt this hard before. You're giving me something that's taboo. You give me the sweetest taboo. That's why I am in love with you. You give me the sweetest taboo. Too good for me. See, if I tell you now, would you keep on loving me? Oh, 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 oh. If I tell you how I feel, would you keep bringing out the best in me? Yeah, you're giving me the sweetest taboo. Oh, oh, no, no, you're giving me the sweetest taboo. Too good for me. I'll stand in the rain. I'll stand with you, baby. Anything you want me to do. Oh no, don't let it slip away. There's a question, and it's never felt like this before. There's a question that is you, baby. There's a question, and it's never felt this hard before. You're giving me something that's taboo. You give me the sweetest taboo. That's why I am in love with you. You give me the sweetest taboo. Too good for me. Oh, oh, there's a question, and it's never felt like this before. There's a question that is you. There's a question, and it's never felt this hard before. You're giving me something that's taboo. Giving me something that's taboo. Oh, baby, 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 giving me something that's taboo. That's taboo. Yeah, you're giving me something that's taboo. You're giving me something that's taboo. You give me the sweetest taboo. That's why I am in love with you. You give me the sweetest taboo. Too good for me. No, 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 no. Say, I'm again over so. Can you won't capture my soul? I'm again over so. Make one bo. Peru para. I'm loose. Even Peru don't te para. Tonight in Josie, I'm in Josie. Won't go if you want Josie. I'm not playing with you, I'm not joking. My third I promise you, Lord. You can back up the one doggy. I'm on duty, but the one doggy. They won't do me, they won't do me. They won't do me, cause they won't do me. When you won't want me, I'm in San Francisco jam. When you won't want me, I just flew in from Miami. Peru para. I'm loose. Even Peru donde para. Peru donde para. I'm loose. Even Peru donde para.
Wow! Ooh, woo!
Eru done the para.
Rachel, Casey, woo! You really brought back sweet memories. It was as though Sade herself was sitting right in our midst. If you could even say as much, we would say that this performance almost outdid that of Sade herself. Well done. Thank you for making Weekend Deals so splendid, as you always do. We're talking about the values that we pass on Weekend Deal today. There's no gainsaying that values are important. In fact, a country without values is missing quite a lot. Earlier, we told you about compassion, perseverance, integrity. Need we add culture, cuisine, history, courtesy, respect? There's a lot more. But guess what? Jane is drawing the curtain open on our mini documentaries today, and she's focused on those values that we inherit. Jane, there is more we know. Take it away.
Across Nigeria and much of Africa, life begins within a frame of belonging. Family, culture, faith, history, not choosing but giving. Every story begins before us, long before our first breath. Before our first memory, we are already part of something older, something inherited. We inherit more than names or traditions. We inherit ways of seeing the world, what it means to respect, what is expected to lead, and who is expected to follow, what is right, what is possible, and what is not. In one family, however, tradition remains deliberate. A grandmother passes down customs with quiet precision. A father reinforces discipline as it was taught to him. Here, identity is preserved through practice. Yet, beyond the home, a different narrative unfolds. Younger voices encounter new ideas, one that challenges what has always been understood as truth. And so a question emerges: what do we do with what we inherit? Accept it without question, or examine it in the light of a changing world?
It is so painful that culture is what we're supposed to inherit. Like now, we're talking about greeting. Now, somebody, you are talking to somebody. Maybe you visit me as a chief. While talking to me, your hands are in the pocket. It's a disrespect. Then I am talking to you, you are hissing. It's disrespect. How can you are trying to talk to a youth and is busy using his own computer, using his own laptop, using his own phone? You know, all those attitudes, we have to work on this attitude change because it's not good for our culture.
Because inheritance is complex, it can offer grounding, a sense of identity, a connection to those who came before. But it can also place limits quietly and persistently.
Everybody now have access to internet. And before now, whenever you walk home, with the whole family, you could sit around together, have a discussion, and they could be guided. People can be guided. This is what we do, this is what we cannot do. You'll be surprised you walk into a home, everybody is home, but everybody is on his own. Everybody is on his phone and communicating with different people, no boundary anymore, across the world. And learning different cultures, they see things that we see as very abnormal here, or within our society, or within our culture. And then they begin to see it as normal over there. And obviously the influence of internet. People begin to copy it, and begin to copy it. And that kind of begins to affect what the society, any kind of societal violence that has been left.
Each generation then faces the same task to decide what to carry forward, what to adapt, and what to leave behind. For the values we pass on do not simply shape individuals, they shape societies, they shape futures, and what we inherit is only the beginning of what we become.
Thank you, Ma Jane. That was beautiful. And to see these worthy Nigerians talking about the values we pass on is important, because as a nation, every generation has a choice whether to repeat unhealthy circles or build a better legacy. We can do that by passing on the right values. And to help us unpack this very important conversation are two amazing Nigerians. Like I always say, we bring in people who are passionate about the Nigerian project. And who else than a mother of a nation, a woman who loves so much and has so much to give. She is Her Excellency Zenaria Noma Nkechi Rochas Okorocha, PhD. She is the CEO, founder of Women of Divine Destiny Initiative. Let's see her profile. Welcome to
Excellency. Welcome you.
I screened yesterday for Senate.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
I'm going for Senate, so.
Oh, wow. It's an honor and a privilege to have you with us on Weekend Deal today, Her Excellency. Have we said Happy Mother's Day? Happy Mother's Day!
Happy Mother's Day to all of us.
Yes, so all of us.
To
Yes.
every mother out there.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
And we're bringing it on. We're bringing it on. We have another guest. Earlier, of course, you heard patients say amazing Nigerians who have keyed into the extraordinary Nigerian project. Let's meet, greet, and make welcome Dr. Umar Boba Binder. Dr. Umar Boba Binder is the Baban Mufti Adamawa Emirate from Bina Kingdom. His profile is now and will tell us more. You're welcome, sir. It's nice to have you on the show, Baba Mufti.
It's good to have you, sir. Okay, so I'll begin our conversation with the First Lady. How would you rate the values we have now and those of when you were growing up as a child? How would you think, are we still holding on to values, or as parents, today's mothers, or as mothers, we are letting our children just go? What's going on with our values?
Thank you very much, and I want to start by saying thank you so much for having me here at your station. It's such a great honor to be here. And back to your question, looking at when we were growing up,
Yes.
and what is happening now, the truth is that it's going this way. And personally, I am genuinely concerned, and I believe a lot of mothers out there, we are concerned about the total divide of what it used to be and what we're experiencing now. And that is why today is a celebration of Mother's Day, and I want to believe that it's a wake-up call for every woman out there to go back to her knees and see what we can do to change the narrative, because we can't continue this way as a nation, as a people, as a family, and even as mothers, because this is our constituency to make sure that the right values is actually being passed out there to every child, the younger generation, and even in the community.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Her Excellency. Dr. Binder, how are you doing today?
I cannot complain.
Great. But we'll complain though. We don't hear from you as we ought to.
I'm
as
sorry.
the father, as the leader that you are, we don't hear from you as you ought. So I hope that will change.
It has.
Okay, you have held many interesting positions. In fact, we say we hold you in esteem because you have touched so many lives at home, in the FCT, in the nation as a whole. I know that there are things that you held dear. Perhaps you inherited from your parents. The values. What values do you think stood you out so that you were picked? Even when you retired, came back, you were picked again and again. Tell us. What stands you out, do you think, and others of your ilk?
Thank you very much for the invitation and happy Mother's Day. I'm here among mothers.
Yes, you are.
Values, values, values. Values are expected to be good. There are no bad values. Anything bad is not values.
Yes.
For me, the humble beginning of being the son of an Islamic scholar sums it up, because you have to wake up properly, you have to go to school properly, you have to read the Quran properly, you have to relate with your parents properly. In fact, when we were growing, all the older people in the community are your parents. So you end up saying, this is your uncle, this is your auntie, this, and there's no gate for you. You don't say, oh, this house, you don't go in or whatever. No, the whole community is a real community. And when you start from that level, the Arabic reading already conquers the Western education for you, because you know alphabets, you know how to read scripts, you can write. So when you get into formal education system, it's just a walkover. So despite the fact that the culture at the time was not a culture that you go back like possibly Her Excellency and her children, you have your children will have somebody to wash you and change your dress, and then you have a reading place, you have a plate and spoon. We never had that. Are you with me? So the way we passed exams was a miracle, because there's no studying or revision culture. The revision is the Arabic revision. But because of the schooling system of the Arabic, it just automatically absorbs you. And then you take that to school. You respect people. You respect your teachers. You respect your elder brothers, literally. Any elder is your elder brother. And you speak to people nicely. You kneel down. You remove your shoes. You remove your hat. All that follows me till today. If I see any older person in the mosque or outside, I kneel down. The way I greet them is totally different. I don't open my chest to say, hello, sir. Hello, Michael. No, I have to bend down and say, you know that the culture is still going through. And then these traditions help you to survive. It helps to cool you down. People look at you and now they think, oh, he's so humble. It's like a new thing. But it's tradition, it's in you. It will never leave you. So literally the before, now and after is all the same for me.
Okay, just so that Thelma can speak to the First Lady, I will still come back to you. And my question to you will be that, given this amazing upbringing you have, why are we not holding on to this upbringing for our children? Is it now the love for wealth? Are we upholding wealth as opposed to these values? What is the problem? Why are we not?
I think we should accept culture are things that you get used to, and then you build it as part of your life. We must accept that changes are there. When I was growing, there was no electricity. Now electricity is when it is not there that people think, oh my God, the world is going to come to an end. Ours, if you say electricity, it was like the world was coming to an end because there's electricity. You know, we had no tap water in our house. We have to go and fetch water. You don't feel like it is a terrible way to live. You just go and fetch water. The last bucket that you fetch from the public tap is the one that you wash, you go to school. Then schooling too. You go to school, you queue up. It is just an ordinary space. The teachers are ordinary people. There were no digital things. You read books. It's not that now you have smart devices, they can teach you, they can read to you, and so. Now, these changes have continued till today. We have AI that can predict who you will be in the next 20 years. We have artificial intelligence and machine learning telling you everything. So we, parents of today, must accept that these changes are on the table. So I shouldn't expect my children to go and look for firewood and then or to light a fire to read the Quran because I want to be traditional. No, it is not. So, but the thing is, the management of that change based on the cultures that we were brought about is what minimizes your children not to go on to drugs. It minimizes your children not to befriend other children that are bad. Minimizes the culture of your children not reading books. This is what you have to struggle to ensure that you instill in children.
Indeed, indeed. High Excellency. Thank you, Baba Mufti. High Excellency, just before we take our next video, we want to highlight some of the landmarks and highlights that you paraded while you were First Lady of Imo State. Of course, we know about Wadi, and you touched lives of orphans, the underserved. You made sure they felt the impact while you were there in health, in education. What touched you? What values in you made you reach out, and what impact did you make in their lives?
Thank you very much. I want to start by saying that when I was in Imo, by the grace of God, being able to bring that consciousness to every Imo woman to understand why in the first place she's called a woman, and to be able to understand the degree of the responsibility that is upon her by her creator, by her husband, by her family, and by her community. So bringing out that consciousness, because what you don't know, you don't know. And then, so being able to do that, and of course, like you mentioned, we have what we call normal women. And having said that I believe there's everything in a name. You are what you answer. And of course, in Imo State and in Igbo, normal means good mother. You understand? And just mentioning that there's a program that is coming up that is called Woody Good Mother Network. And what we want to achieve with that, not just in Nigeria, but also in Africa, because I believe that Nigeria is a big brother that we call ourselves. And so we must lead by example. We are talking about values. We are talking about changing the narrative. And I'm what they are saying, with all apologies to my husband's brother that is seated here, Alaji, you know, that the bulk of the responsibility lies on the mothers, because we are home builder, because we are nurturers, because we are the carrier of values. And so what you don't depict, you know, those that are looking up to you, whether your children, those that you are mentoring, will not have something to go by, you know. So in Imo State, we're able to bring back that consciousness. You know, it's not about what you wear. It's not about your position. And it's not about your background, whether you're educated, whether you're illiterate. A woman is a woman. A mother is a mother. And so God helped me to be able to bring that consciousness. So it also affected the way we dress, because when you talk about value, it's the totality of who you are.
Yes.
It's the totality of how people perceive you, what you say, how you say it. And my dear senior brother here was just talking about, you know, how you greet, how you... And as a matter of fact, humility is everything. You cannot talk about value without talking about humility. You cannot talk about value without talking about your character, because you are who you are by way of your character. So in Imo State, we're able to see how we can come up with a lot of programs that can push these values, and not just talking about it, but living it. Because you can't be saying something and people look at you, it cannot match what you are saying. So I think where we are as a people, as Nigerians, and as people that other African countries are looking up to us, we need to actually begin to go back to the drawing board, because truly we cannot continue like this. And so for me, as a woman, as a mother, at times I can't sleep. Why? Because I'm wondering where we are, and the next generation, what are we passing on to them? So my heart bleeds that if there's anything we can do, because we're talking about getting it right in Nigeria, we're talking about getting it right as a people, we cannot get it right without being intentional about the values that we are passing on. Not even just to the next generation, but the now, because the now is important about, you know, looking at the tomorrow.
Interesting,
Excellency.
interesting.
Amazing.
You should embody everything you preach. First Lady came in here, and Her Excellency, she was hugging all of us, showing us love. It didn't matter who you are. She just hugs you and gives you that smile. Exactly who she is. Well, we are moving on, and perhaps the big question today is not about the values we are teaching, but the values that we are living. Because at the end of the day, it's not what we say, but what we do. We are going to my home state now. I think I should do a little dance. We're going to my country. Hey. We're going to my home state now, and they'll be taking a look at learning by imitation or watching. Let's say that.
The home is the first hub of socialization where good morals and values are built. Here, a child first comes in contact with his or her kind. From watching keenly the activities of older people, they imitate and imbibe. This brings into fore the question of how human behavior is modeled through our everyday life.
The way we act, the way we carry ourselves, and is in two dimensions. We have the covert and the overt behavior. The covert, which cannot be seen, but the overt, that is the one we express, like the way you talk, the way you compose yourself, the way you do things. And how does this affect everyday life? Behavior is situational. You know, the way you behave, let's say in the office here, will not be the same as the way you behave at home or in the marketplace. So there are factors that influences behavior.
The space between what people say and do, otherwise known as say-do gap or the value-action gap, is a disconnection that stems from several psychological and environmental factors. Such factors, among others, are practical barriers like stress, old habits, lack of resources, or a fear of failure, and can block even the best intentions from becoming reality.
We have, let me say, personality structures. You know, sometimes we don't really do what we say, even though we know those are the right things to do. Now, what is responsible for this particular attitude? Like I earlier said, situational one. Another one could be personality. It could even be cultural. Where you are coming from, those could be the factor that can facilitate such behavior when you don't do what you actually say.
Learning by imitation is a fundamental mechanism in human development for learning languages, motor skills, and social norms, often meditated by the mirror neuron system, as experts posit.
There's a saying that what you see, you know. We first do that by imbibing that by ourselves. Because children tend to learn by imitation. It is what they see you as a parent or as a teacher doing that they imitate, either way, whether good or bad. So first of all, the first thing I do personally as a teacher, I exude a lot of confidence around my students so that they are able to imitate me. If you look around, you see that every learners have names for every teacher. They nickname their teachers based on what they see them do. Sometimes it's by their pattern of dressing or how they speak or their mannerisms or how they carry themselves. So first of all, I carry a lot of confidence around me, especially while imparting knowledge to them. When they see you being honest, making sure that you're honest, they see you being neat. Neatness is also a skill. It's also a value. When they see you being organized, they see you coming to school early, which is discipline. Naturally, they know that it's not just about you telling them to do that. They see you doing it, they imitate you. So it's an effortless way of passing on values to our students.
It is, however, a very cognitive and social function used by humans and animals to understand actions and social behaviors for a stable society. Alas, you will agree with the assertion that actions are the most powerful teachers when it comes to passing down values through learning and imitation.
Did learning by imitation or and watching from NTA Marketing. That was an interesting and in-depth package. So if we all agree that younger people, our wards, our children, and people around us learn by watching and imitating, that means we as adults have lost it somewhere. Because what they're exemplifying now, they learnt it from somewhere, people around them. So, tell me, Dr. Bindi, where did we miss it? The values you have richly shared, is it the same thing young people are sharing today richly and vibrantly as we did?
No, I think you are right. The change is very, very drastic. The rate at which modernization or Western culture or cultures of developed systems is poured onto us without preparation has actually affected a lot of what we do and how we transmit it. I'll give you an example. Primary school teachers. Primary school teachers in this country are considered to be the lowest of the low. The headmaster is looking haggard. There are no offices. They don't have computers. Their salaries are very small. How do you expect this group to prepare children for this life? So you must have a very deliberate strategy to prepare these teachers properly so that the headmaster too should have a laptop. The headmaster should wear clean things. The headmaster should be paid well so that when he talks to children, he is at peace, right? He is calm and he is, giving what he believes that is useful in the future. So this is why we get a lot of things wrong. We think, leave the bottom, somehow, these children will survive and join the world at the top to also become specialists, entrepreneurs, and to help this country. That is not happening because we have a disjointed system. So the same thing with our political class. In those days, when you want to contest, look, without seeing Awolowo, I knew what he stood for. Without knowing Ahmadu Bello, I knew what he stood for. Without knowing Aminu Kano. So that political culture of, I believe in this, that is why I'm a politician, is there. So wherever you are, you know these people. Not anymore. You don't know who, even the person next to you, to your house, you don't know what he stands for. He's just an ordinary politician. Before, these people will just stand on a drum and say, look, if you vote for me, I will make sure that I will make schooling, water, jobs, agriculture, and so on. And they do it. And that is how we saw Nigeria is good in groundnuts, fantastic in cocoa, fantastic in palm oil. And because these politicians meant what they said. Now, we have our own class, and we politicians will go and say, vote for me, there will be jobs. But you don't see the jobs. So this is again another culture that we have broken. Till today, we're still talking about Awolowo did. We have no representation up to now. Till today, we're talking about Ahmadu Bello did this. Till today, we're talking about Aminu Kano believed in that. Where are the other people that we should talk about now? So, yes, we have gotten it wrong, but it's not too late, as is always said. When we discuss like this, possibly people will listen and be able to calm down. Changing things or making things good is not a hidden thing. If you are good and you are transmitting good, you will see goodness. If you are good, you are not transmitting good, you will see the result. The result is always telling you whether you are online or not online.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Very, very interesting. Excellency, I want to come back to motherhood because we touched on children, how we raise our children. It's sometimes, I don't know, I'm looking for the right word to use. You see mothers who are encouraging their daughters and their sons to go into negative vices. As a mother, is it now social media influence? Is it corruption? What would make a mother? We had a show here where somebody actually sent us a message and said, as he's sending this message, a family you know just sent their son to go and learn Yahoo somewhere else. Why would a parent, and we are talking people who enjoyed good morals, what is changing them? What is changing the love for money? What is changing mothers and fathers that we have today? Because they belong to the old school. What's going on?
So I think that, like he said, we've lost it somewhere. And first of all, you see a mother, you see a parent who don't even know what they want. They don't have a picture of the kind of family they want to see. They don't have a picture of the kind of children they want to raise. And if you don't identify your target, then there's nothing you are aiming at. yes, a lot of things is happening. The technology, the trend is changing. A lot of things is happening out there, and it will keep happening. It will never stop.
Yeah.
You understand? This is where we are today in terms of where the technology is taking us. Tomorrow is going to be worse. So it will never change. So I want to believe that the first thing is that, we should be able to, as parents, as mothers, imagine, see the picture of the kind of children you want to see. What you don't see, you cannot get. What you don't dream, you cannot have. So we have stopped dreaming. We have stopped seeing.
Wow.
So what then will you see? It is what you dream, is what you envision that will now enable you to see how you can achieve that. But if you don't envision anything, you don't dream anything, you've not seen, in fact, you have not sat to see your children in the next 20 years, then what then will be the approaches you're going to put in line, the sacrifices you have to make? Like you said, a lot of people, mothers, parents, are very, very busy. We're just looking at what to get, the position, and all that. And we're not being sensitive to understand that you get a point in life, it's not about you. Because you are the book, your children rather, are the book that people are reading about you. So you should now be able to say, okay, you know what? Yes, I want this, but I need to make this sacrifice. Because where I am and what I am doing cannot give me this picture that I've painted in the next 2 years to see my children. So that's the problem. So it's all about now, and we're forgetting about tomorrow. So the truth is that, like he said, it's not too late. And it is my desire and my prayer. Yeah, and of course, prayer without action. Forget about prayer. Everybody is praying. But I think we have gotten to that place where we need to do more of action, and then we'll get it right.
Thank you, Her Excellency. You have indeed spoken with depth.
Yes,
with
as a
depth.
mother, really.
It is easy to see sometimes we as parents or guardians, we focus on our children. But we know the Nigerian thing is it takes a village. He told us here, it takes a village. Everybody's hands on each child. And that's the way our children will make not just us proud, they will make our great country proud. We can't raise our children in isolation. They're going to live with other people. Thank you so much. Our elders are speaking, and it's a learning curve. And Magdalene was unrelenting because she knows that values are integral to having a society where we all can celebrate and enjoy with our young ones and even as they grow. And she's focused with her mini documentary on choosing what to keep. There are some things that you will drop, but there are many that you reach out for and you hold firmly. Magdalene, please tell us more.
This is something you're supposed to have done since morning now. What's wrong with you? Sorry, ma. See, the way you are doing your own sweeping, I don't understand. This is not how my mother taught me.
According to developmental psychology and early child education, research consistently shows that a child's earliest training starts from the family.
Parents are not raising children the way they should raise them today. And that is why we are having so much chaos, crisis, dysfunctional society. Now, for parents, their duty is to produce children that will be better than them.
Many believe that a supportive home, school, and community can enhance and shape the values of children, respectively, in society.
I'm a school owner with a motto, molding future leaders. So what we do is to make sure that we nurture these children, inculcate in them the values that they need to grow. Because most of them, I can assure you, especially the young boys, it's not easy. But we continue to go. Like I was in the class today telling them, JSS3, you have junior WAEC. In this school, we don't pad results. We don't help you. You study everything you want to know. Please reach the teacher so that they will teach you. You know, moral. So in the school, we have what we call circle time. Circle time is where we talk about bullying, we talk about behavioral, patterns, lifestyles, of course, tidiness, and so on and so forth.
You must understand the peculiarity of the child. You must keep your eye on the growth of the children, particularly the girl child, so that you are able to give account of them. Let them be your friend as their mother, as their father. Sometimes some of us are so busy that our children, we don't even know what they are doing. And we are in the global world, ICT world, where your children can be taken from you by ICT or social media. So you must keep an eye on them. You must restrict their obsession with social media. If not, they will leave their studies and they are watching what is on the social media. They can tell you everything that is happening everywhere. But when you ask them anything about physics, chemistry, biology, economics, civics, they do not know anything. So parents should create time to be able to have time with their children.
To this end, mistakes of a child are not failures, but they are lessons that help children improve with patience, consistency, and care. Always remember that upbringing and mentoring shapes the future of today's child for a better tomorrow.
It's amazing how you know me on my feet. Anytime I come around you, I get weak. No, nobody ever made me feel this way. You kiss my lips and then you took my breath away. I wanna know. Ooh, I like to know. I wanna know, so I can be the only one who makes you smile. Girl, it never understood what you were worth, no. And I never took the time to make it work. No, no, yeah. I believe that there's a love will make it sure, no. Because my lips and then you took my breath away. No, I wanna know what's for sure. I'd like to know so I can be your one. I'd like to know what makes you bright, so I can be the only one who makes you smile. Tell me what I'm gonna do to please you. Baby, anything you say I do. 'Cause I only wanna make you happy. From the bottom of my heart is true. Tell me what I'm gonna do to please you. Baby, anything you say I do. 'Cause I only wanna make you happy. From the bottom of my heart is true. I wanna know what you want, so I can be your lady. I'd like to know what makes you
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rachel. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. If you're just joining us, you've missed, but you've not missed all, because a lot of conversation is still coming. It's your favorite weekend show, Weekend Deal, the show where conversation inspire transformation and spark action. And like we said yesterday, this weekend is all about the action part of our conversation, and that's why our guests have been giving us real life action, what we can do to pass on the right legacy. Well, we asked you to join our conversation. You did. You sent your messages. We don't take it for granted. We love you. Thelma is ready to take some of our messages. T.
Okay, let's take a few, and thank you for sending them in. What are the values that we are passing on? Okay, someone says, hello, Weekend Deal. I always like the analyst slash guest that you bring on the show. They are doing justice to this topic. It's about, I find it funny that, this conversation goes on, we put blame here and there. I think parents bear the bulk of the responsibility about how their children turn out. Okay? You didn't tell us who you are. Someone says, hello there. It's great to be a part of your show on NTA. As long as we're talking about it, it shows that it is never too late for positive change. This Oglafa Elvis, thank you for reaching out to us. We'll just take one more. Kromaga. Kromaga, where are you reaching us from? Kromaga, is that your guy's name or your real name? Okay, he says Weekend Deal. Very good topic. It's a good deal with a good topic. Parents have a role to play, the community has a big role to play, and the leaders in the studio have the biggest role to play. Everyone must be interested in what happens to everyone in the society and in the community. Thank you, Kromaga.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your messages. We appreciate them always. You make our program richer when you join our conversation. So I'll come back to Her Excellency. We had a little conversation behind the scene, and you were talking about identity, knowing yourself. That is the bedrock of passing on values to our children and the generation to come. Can you please expatiate on that and speak more on identity, knowing yourself?
Yes. To be able to have a total child, as a mother, you need to know yourself. And knowing yourself, like you said, identity, is also not telling yourself lies. In other words, you should be able to know what you have and what you don't have, your limitation. And don't shy don't shy away from it. So that if there are things you need as a tool or instrument to be able to help you, that child or your community or people around you, then you sought for help. Because you cannot give what you do not have.
Yes.
You understand? You cannot give what you... And so when we were talking just behind the scene, and I told you, I said, identity is very important. Because if you don't know yourself, then you cannot help nobody. Then you're talking about mandate, he mentioned it. Your mandate, your responsibility. So when you know yourself, you know what you are responsible for. You now know whether you have what is needed to be able to really, ensure that you carry out your responsibility. And of course, we're talking about legacy. Somebody mentioned it here earlier. You talk about, so what are you passing on? If you don't know yourself, if you don't know what your responsibility is so that you can carry them, what can you then leave behind? So it's very, very important when you talk about values. You need to go back to the drawing board to check yourself. Do I need help? What area do I need help? To be the kind of mother that I'm supposed to be. To be the kind of wife I'm supposed to be. To be the kind of mentor I'm supposed to be. All of these is, it has to be holistic. Because if any part is missing, then you have a problem.
Wow.
So you need to get it right.
From the mothers and the fathers themselves. You need to ask yourself questions.
Earlier you were talking about, your children. It's not even about your children. Yes. Because I live all part of my life in Jos. And in those days when we're in Jos, we don't know who gave back to who. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you can leave your door open and you go anywhere and come back because you know that the neighbors are also responsible without even talking about it to your children. So if we get it right with our own children, what environment will those children live in? So we must go back to the drawing board to understand that it's not just about our family, our immediate family. In fact, I have a dream. I have a dream that one day, as I'm walking in the streets of Abuja, or anywhere in Nigeria, that everybody that is walking on that street is my responsibility. You are not just looking straight and you want to go. No, you now know what is happening to that child. What is happening to that guy? Is he okay? Can I just park my car and tap that child, tap that young man and say, you know what, it is well. At times, that's all what we need to get the kind of society that we want to get as a people. And it's doable. It's doable. Indeed. It's just that consciousness. It's just that being intentional about understanding that values are things that we need to focus and give it due attention. Whether government, whether religious leaders, whether schools. As a matter of fact, we must find a way of coming together. And what scares me, or what I will say, that is even something that is simple. Yes. It doesn't take anything other than a willing heart, other than understand that this is a duty. Some of us find ourselves in certain position or places, whether you're a teacher, whether you are a boss, whether you are in government or whatever. But one question I think we need to ask ourselves is that, what am I expected to do? What's my responsibility? Because you are not there by chance. You are there. God in heaven has given you that opportunity to find yourself in that position because there is a mandate. There is a responsibility. There is something that is expected of you. When I was in government by the special grace of God, actually in 2011 when we won, God helped me to ask myself 3 vital questions. Now that we have gotten this position, what next? How do I want to be seen? That's your identity. What will I be remembered for? So if you don't keep asking yourself such questions, the tendency for the public, for the society, for the whatever to make you forget is there. Because at times we have problems because we are vulnerable to all the praises. We are vulnerable to all the praises. We are vulnerable to how people want us to be conscious of who we are. And it's that consciousness of our position, of what we have attained in life, that make us lose it. And when we lose it, this is where we find ourselves. Wow. The values is going down the rail. Yes. But I believe that we can get it right as a people, particularly the mothers will get it right.
Wow. Wow.
Well done. That's amazing.
Wow.
That's
Let's
amazing.
give it up for Her Excellency. That was an earful. Thank you, Her Excellency.
amazing.
Women have an enormous
honestly, we
responsibility.
need
We are the
to.
home builders. We are the nurturers. We are the ones that birth the children. We are the hands that often touch them the first. We can do a bit more and, of course, provide support for the community, for our partners, for the entire nation. We have an enormous responsibility and must begin to be more intentional about it. Okay. In the course of our discourse, of course, we have learned that values are things we must hold dear. What is not valuable, you must discard it. And you discard it as soon as possible. Because this country, like we said yesterday, all hands are on deck to build it and ensure we stand strongly on the global platform. NTA Abuja is not left behind today. They are reminding us of some things that we must leave behind and what indeed we ought to embrace. NTA Abuja, take it from here.
There's a saying, when one generation plants trees, another generation enjoys the shade. It reminds us that continuity is a core instinct of humanity, that what we do today echoes far beyond us. Have you ever paused to ask yourself, if I were to leave this world today, what will I be remembered for? What footprints am I leaving in the sands of time? Through our journeys, we meet people and live experiences that shape who we are. For Dr. Mariam Tahan, education is the legacy she hopes to pass down.
I spent almost all my life in Nigeria here, to the total of 45 years working for the youth and with the youth and among the youth. I focused on the education because I believe that education is very, very important. And I have organized so many workshops for the youth to help them find their own way in life based on these values. Legacy is very, very important in the life of everybody, not only the youth. Even we adults or grown-up, we need a legacy to give and to leave behind us. I advise the youth to look for a real role model to copy. Our society, our history is full of examples of patriotic people, people who contributed very well to the society, have done wonderful for other people, especially for the youth. Try to study their life, what they are doing, how they are doing things, and follow them and copy them so they can be also like them, or they can even be better than.
It is almost a cliche when we hear the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. But what kind of tomorrow will they build? What do they envision right now for their today, their future, and the generations that will come?
I grew up at a time when integrity meant everything. That shaped how I worked, how I raised my children, how I lived. The others said, what we were taught stayed with us. Those values guided our decisions, even when no one was watching. The world we see today is the result of choices made before us.
I think a lot of times people think that freedom means, doing whatever it is that you want. But when I think about the choices that I make today that would lead to freedom tomorrow, I think discipline is one that's really important, because it is in my discipline that I'm going to be able to get things done, set up systems and structures that would outlive me and be meaningful and helpful for the people that are coming after me.
Every decision we make today becomes a reality others will live in tomorrow. So the values we live today become the others inherit what we have disposition for them tomorrow.
The kind of world I'll envision for the future generation and for myself right now is a world where there is peace and where there is unity. Because in a world where there is peace and unity, there is a lot of development and there is a lot of growth. So for me personally, my role in it is that I'll have to work on myself. I'll make sure that I see people beyond their race, beyond their culture.
I want a society where people do what is right, not just what is easy.
people who are living meaningful lives, who are able to contribute positively to their society, who are able to understand themselves better and make the most of the opportunities that are given to them.
To reproduce one's own kind is nature's way of ensuring continuity. But for society to thrive, it is not enough to pass down our names or our blood. We must also pass down the right values, ideas, and morals, because the values we live by today will become the world others inherit tomorrow.
Once you find yourself anywhere you are, no, try and be good to everybody. Try and fight everybody. No, you don't know who will become who.
Patience.
Thank you so much, NTA Abuja. It's very heartwarming to see our former boss, Agaba Mamu, as a respondent there. Okay, so we're talking about passing on the values we pass on, but now I'm going on a very light note. And this question is for Her Excellency and for Alhaji. Tell us, what is it with grandparents that they change? That mother that used to wipe you, they see your child and all of a sudden they are so soft. As one of my daughter told me one time, Mommy, I love my grandma so much. Very emotional. I said, why? I like how I'll be watching TV and she'll be feeding me. This mommy that if I don't eat my food, the pain I will receive at my back. Yeah. What happens to you people? Mommy, tell me. When it comes to your grandchildren.
You know, my daughter, my first daughter actually, Loma, will say to me, hey, Mommy, what happened?
Oh, it's not just me, thank God.
No, not even with my grandchildren, you know, because to the glory of God, I have 3 girls before 3 boys. So she will say, Mommy, what happened? You know, even with the boys, that yes. I'm not as hard as I was with them, that, you know, because she remembered that at times, you know, I can just take 3 steps and then bamba and all of that. So he said, that what happened? So even with my grandchildren, to the glory of God, I have 6 grandsons. So he said, what went wrong? So, but I think the truth is that they say strength doesn't go up. That's the truth. Nature. Yes. It goes down. Right. You understand? But then, what we also try to do, in as much as we are not getting any younger, we still find a way of making sure that we inculcate that values to them. You know, I was talking to you earlier on, I said, and I think Elijah mentioned it when he was talking about, you know, some fathers want to exert that authority. Yes. They you know, yes. And you don't want to be a friend to your children. But more than that, we are not using one tool that God has given us to mothers. And what is that tool? Emotion.
Emotions.
At times, one of my child can do something, in fact, I will be better than an actress in a Nollywood. You understand? And my husband is aware of it. Yes. And I might cry. You see, your mommy is finished. And then I hope the children are not listening anyway. So imagine when they just leave, and my husband and myself, we just go that way, get ourselves highway. And then, of course, you're also watching. Yes. Because this approach might work for child A.
It might not work for child
B. So what is that works?
Yes.
You know, I wrote a book called Password. Password. Is that person your child? Is he your husband, a friend, a staff? You must take our time to figure out the makeup of that individual. His or her personality. Because that is not what we inform what you do with that particular person. How to even inculcate the values. Because it's not just about saying it. Of course, we know that one thing is that you have to live it.
Yes.
Because they imbibe what they see more than what you say.
Yeah.
Yes. So you need to, for you to be able to do that, so you need to be able to understand the personality of that individual to see how you can inculcate that. Because it's not done if the child have not gotten it. So ability to understand who that child is and how to. So going back to what you said, for our grandchildren, yes. You still have a subtle way of passing it. You understand? I remember I go to my grandchildren's school, I would say, Nafana, if you come out first, that means I'll go and sleep. That means your mommy will, that means, in fact, when my children were growing up, my husband used to call a meeting of the boys, even as much as they were still in primary school. And as at that time, I'll be asking myself, what are you calling a meeting of children who are 8 years, 7 years? But today, to the glory of God, I've seen the benefit. Yes. We are calling them meeting. Come, let's have meeting. What do we do? Okay, you come and speak. This is how you, all of those things work. Because it's what you sow, like what you reap. So the issue is that what are we sowing? What are we sowing? We must be intentional about it. so that we can get those values that we want to see, not just today, but tomorrow.
Amazing.
Dr. Binder, please lend your voice.
Well, with her concluding remark, you cannot plant banana and expect yam. That is just the... But you see, talking about the grandparents and the children, I think grandparents find the grandchildren as toys. If you know, they're very nice to cuddle. They talk to them, and they spend more time with you. The parents don't have time for their parents, so the children comes as, and if you're lucky, if for example, her son or her daughter is lucky and they're in close proximity, you will find that they visit often to make sure that the children learn more from the grandparents, and the grandparents become more active, engaging with the grandchildren. They move better, they talk, and so that transmits. But even if you're very far, have you not seen the diaspora people importing their parents into to spend more time? It's not because of them.
Yes,
it's
for
because
the
of
children.
The children to actually have more time. So, but the issue is literally is that we, as we try to preserve or conserve the good things that we have benefited from, we also become agents of introducing new things, some of which are not very palatable. For example, as you grow, even if you come from the very poverty-stricken, by definition, as life, farming family, you struggle and so on and so forth. By the time you start sprouting into significance, you don't want your children to go through this. So you gradually, you start developing the culture of selfishness. It's all about your children. They should go to the best schools. They should wear the best dress. You should go to functions that are better. You want to show a difference. Me, well, I'm different to you. And then gradually, we introduce the culture of, a culture of I'm better than you. You know, look at...
Do you know who I am?
Your child went to College of Education, Abraka. Look at my children are in Harvard. You know, so you create unnecessary tension out of them, even if they're your friends. And the same thing, you see that the same people that have benefited from free education, that benefited from up to university, are the same people causing problems now, saying, no, we don't agree with this, don't agree with this. So the young ones are being bred to feel like their religion is different, their language is different, their culture is different, where they come from is different, and that's the quagmire of the crisis. Before, we don't need to... The universities, for example, now are beginning to become culturally mono universities. You go to an area, 70% of the students are speaking the same language, eating the same food, wearing the same dress. How do you expect to transmit Nigeria from that? When we were in school, in my school, I was the only person from Yola in the whole set admitted, despite the fact that it is my degree. Today, go there. The whole people are from the same ecosystem, and you can only see over the wall and see people who don't like you or are different from you. So this, we introduce it, and we have to, like she said, it's not too late. We have to crush it. We have to slow down. We have to ensure that we are good. At least the vicars and the imams should work harder. Whatever you do, you still believe that there is hell and heaven. I think they should stress that more, so that when you are bad, you go to hell. So that scare, you should try to do goodness before you die.
You know, just like, all our conversation is bringing us to the centerpiece that we need to be intentional, and we should hold ourselves up to a standard beyond what we can see. There are standards above, like heavenly standards, and perhaps if we put that out there more, perhaps we'll get better returns. Your company on Weekend Deal is immeasurable, especially as you are learning from this master class that we are honored to be a part of. So Nigeria is great, and we're going to do even better in the future because all hands are on deck. Weekend Deal takes her last break at this time. We urge you not to go anywhere because we will be right back. Many thanks, Godwin. He's been having a chat with H.A. Amos, media manager for Nasarawa United. And I thank you, our esteemed viewers. You are speaking truth to the matter, and they are watching and they are commenting. So let me just take a few messages quickly. Khaled Caleb Ikbe from Aba says, Her Excellency, you have spoken well. You have spoken like a mother. You have spoken like a leader. In fact, if I could get what you said in a compendium form, you know, she's an author as well. Perhaps she'll tell us more about her book. It said it shows that you hold the values that we were raised with in very high esteem. And no doubt you have passed it on to anybody, not just your children, who has come in contact with you. I'm having goosebumps, just like we're learning today. And someone says, Dr. Bindi, you spoke so well. Teachers work so hard. In fact, he's saying that what you are exhibiting today is because you had good teachers right from the grassroots. He said teachers should be more appreciated, and appreciation should continue from what their take home is on a monthly basis. He even says that, if possible, pay teachers daily. He says to have such good outcomes, say pay teachers daily. We don't know about daily payments, but we do understand, because we here, we've learned quite a bit from what you have said. I just take one more message, one more. Someone says, my name is Simon Anchu from Abuja. I'm happy I didn't miss weekending today. Simon, I'm happy for you too. He said, I have learned. You see, it means kind of knowledge is out there. Why am I just hearing about it? He said, I will never miss weekend again. So beyond that, take the message on, tell your neighbors. You know how we say it takes a village.
Yes,
so if we've done it well for you, Simon, tell everybody that you know they should not miss weekend. Okay, well, we've reached the home stretch. Series has been telling us. Okay, while we were talking behind the scenes, you know, gist was coming. So now talk, they bring talk. So one talk, don't bring talk. And like we say, not be cho.
Yes,
Dr. Bindi is running for Senate. From Adamawa Senatorial District. So what I will say, I'll be asking you a question, you know, nowadays, young people, young children say, don't tell me about morality. I have to survive. It's about my survival. Tell us, as a leader, time and time again, you have another opportunity to go there, to look out for our young ones. What will you be telling them so that it's believable and relatable?
Well, like our First Lady said, it's not just the talking, it's the doing. Parenting is leadership. A leader in the National Assembly is a parent.
Yes.
So the culture we have for respecting our leaders should be there, but let we, the parents and the leaders, not overtake it. For example, we know we respect the president, we respect the vice president, we respect the president of the Senate, we respect the speaker of the House. At least these people, even on the road, when you see them, give them road. But let us not overstretch it to say all the 360 members House of Reps, we must bow down. And these people should show that they are humble, they don't beat traffic lights, they don't push people out of the road, and so on. The same thing with not all the 109 senators. You look at ministers beating the traffic light, helped by the police. We shouldn't do this. We should show people that we are leaders, we are parents, and the culture of obeying the law, the culture of respecting others is also part of our lives. This is what I will practice when I become a senator.
Charity begins from home.
Yes, we look forward to that. We have known you for a long time on the show, and you've been consistent. We can say that. Well done, sir. I wish you all the best. Okay, so for Her Excellency, there are some women watching you right now. They are working mothers, some of them 9 to more than 5, and they're overwhelmed with parenting. What advice do you have for them? A lot of women are overwhelmed. They don't even know how to handle their kids anymore. They go to work in the morning, they come back late at night, the next morning they are off again. And these children are exhibiting characters they can't even understand. Please, can you tell them, just give them advice, love up on them, and tell them they can do it?
Well, that's what is called priorities. And your number one work is the offspring you are bringing.
Amazing.
That's not your number one work. So anything you are doing, and you are not, you are not looking at that your priority, which is your children, then so you must be able to know how to balance it. So you cannot, like you said earlier, you cannot have probably something that you are doing maybe from 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. till 12 midnight or till 9. No, then where is your children? Because at the end of the day, you know, like something I always will tell people, the cry you will cry in the night, in the evening, but I cry it in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
And crying it in the morning means that there are certain sacrifices you must make, means that certain, you know, intentionality you have to put in place. So it's not about the work. If you do all the work, and get all the money, and get all the titles, get all the position, and at the end of the day, when you grow old, there's no place for you to enjoy your old age. Your children, you have lost them. They have slipped through your finger because you want to make money, because you have work you are doing. So what is your priority? What is that number one work? It's your children. It's your home. Your home. And I always will say, anybody that knows me will know that my favorite speech or talk is that when the family gets it right, the community, the nation. So we must not abandon what is happening in the home. So yes, there's nothing wrong in being a woman being a breadwinner. Yeah. But again, I want to say that when you are, you know, may the soul of my late father rest in peace. There's something I hear as a child, I always will hear my father say, which is what? You know, he will say two, because my father married 4 wives. My mother is the first. So I always will hear my mother say to the other wives, this man might not be giving us so much, but he is a crown that we wear. Oh, if we look for him tomorrow, we don't see him. We all are going to be in for it. So the point I'm making is that there's nothing wrong with a woman being the breadwinner. But in being a breadwinner, know that your crown is your husband. Know that your crown, in fact, you respect you get is because you are of your husband, whether he is wearing short knicker, whether he has money or doesn't, that's your crown. The respect people give you, how they honor you, is how they see you honor the man that is your crown. So these are things that we must pay attention to. And we must understand. So you don't get carried away by the way you think the society wants to see you, the position you occupy, you know, how they, you know. So you must know what is your priority, and it's those children. So anything you are doing, you don't, first of all, put them in your calendar to say, okay, how do I structure this? At the end of the day, you might be losing everything that you think you are clamoring for.
Indeed. Oh, Excellency, thank you.
Excellency,
Another learning curve.
But
hold him in high esteem. Yeah. Women will be saying, but there's no money. We need more money. We need more money. Excellency has reminded us that the family is the microcosm of the society.
Sorry, can I just come in there?
Okay.
Just last night, my husband was talking to me. I know what he said to me. He said, listen, money doesn't buy peace. I don't care how many billions you have. And I'm sure a distinguished senator, by the grace of God, I'm sure he will tell you that, you know, money, position don't give you peace. And until we begin to know that it's not how much that you have that will give you peace. Yes. It's not the position that you occupy that will give you peace. It's the values we are talking about. Indeed. It's understanding who you are, your mandate, your responsibility. You understand? And so when you also understand that who you are, then you now know, of course, putting into consideration your responsibility, you now know how to structure yourself and understand that it is those children. You are not around. How would you know who they are?
Oh, yes.
You don't have time with them. How do you know?
My final word is values or no values. I am here, the big ladies at the back, all these are ladies. I want to ask a question.
Okay.
What is this thing that is making wives, for many times, stress their husbands? You just don't want to see this man peaceful. I give you a short scenario. Sure. I'm sitting with my remote control watching TV. Somehow the wife looks at you to say, why should this person be relaxed like this? So she passes in front of the monitor, right? And then she says something like, in this house, we're only 4. My son is sort of knocking things and saying, in this house, some children are doing whatever they want. Nobody talks. It's to you. So me now, trying to become the husband of the power. Yeah. He said, yes, Daddy. Stop what you're doing. Otherwise, I'll come and beat you. Then he starts screaming. Then the mother goes, yeah, what is wrong with? Is it Daddy? Oh, sorry. Take this job. What is it with wives stressing these husbands? You just don't want to see us peaceful and relaxed. Okay. What is it, Your Excellency?
Okay, no, we don't even say. I wish you can answer that. But you need to ask that, Your Excellency.
Just in 30 seconds. Yes. Remember I said, that your child is who you want her to be.
Okay.
So your wife, sir, is who you want her to be.
Okay.
Today I am who I am because my husband has helped me to even tell me how. I'm sure by the time I get home, you say you did so well, even though I'm sure I didn't do very well.
You did very well.
But he will say to me, you were amazing. And that kind of gives me confidence. Yeah. So the truth is so the truth is that what are you saying to your wife?
Oh yeah, we are ending this show, but I will end this show by saying that if you want to make there's a song I love. If you want to make your wife happy, first give her money.
No,
second, give her money. Number 3, give her more money.
No, it's not
money.
Number
4, give her money. Number 5, give her money.
It's getting cold inside. I double sweater. I am your ordinary paranoid. I can picture this life without you, my life. Oh, baby, ooh, ooh, ooh. Sweet Fanta low, and no fee forget you. If I speak English, whoa, say cha cha cha, no what? I don't want to punish you, I want to punish you.